take you to the Hotel Martinet in Brooklyn, where Bobby Millett and his orchestra are offering a program of dance music.
Hey, what's up YouTube? This week I've made some great discoveries for the project and I'm going to share those with you in this video. If you want to know more about this project and see where I left off at the beginning of this week, check out the first video that's on this channel. It explains why all of this modularity and what I did last week and where I started off this week.
We go again. Here we go again.
So IKEA does a lot of things to let us love them and visit them and keep coming back to buy their stuff. But what's most important about their marketing is their way of storytelling. So let's start by looking at their magazine or their catalog. It's this huge adventure that takes you through all their furniture and accessories and decorations and basically gives you a great idea of what it might look like in your home or what your home might look like with their stuff. And then if you take it further with their application, you can actually try this piece of furniture and see what it looks like in your house. So that's the catalog, but then you think, okay, so this might look nice. And then you go to the store where you can really experience something. You can touch it, you can see it, and basically you see what it looks like in all these different kinds of settings. And that's why they also guide you through the store, so that you see all these kinds of ideas, all these great ideas to inspire you. And then when you've been to the store and you've bought all this stuff and you've installed it at home, you see what it looks like. You might want to share this with these people or with the world or your family. And IKEA has a website for it where you can share your ideas. It's called the Share Space. And if you go over there, it's actually a website where you can share whatever you've done with their ideas. And if you look around the website, there's all these great pieces of inspiration for everyone else. To maybe buy something or whatever. So it's not just that an IKEA expert has proposed something for you. It's actually like the real people, just like you, that propose ideas. So I guess what I'm getting at here is that the real value of IKEA is their focus on the customer and the way they convey their message towards that customer, where they really tell a customer what's the value or what's the value of a product and having this product in your house and in your life. So I imagine that this could be very useful if a company like Google or Microsoft or Xiaomi does this with their products, rather than just stating specs. No, really saying in a non-bullshit type of way what it can entail or what it entails to have a product like this in your life. So that's what I'm going to do now, is compare these or is put these companies together and see how that could work out. This whole product line kind of gives me the idea that we can connect you, the person, with the digital world. So, but not only connect you with it, but also place you inside of it, because you have the Kinect, which is awesomely drawn here, and then you have the HoloLens. So the Kinect records you in 3D, so it can place you, your 3D avatar, into space in the digital world. And then with HoloLens, you can see all these sort of projections from the digital world in your real life. So there's a huge combination between these two. So if you take that further, there's actually like when you think about experiencing the digital, it's really cool where you can let people experience all these sort of things that were now only in the digital world, but now you can see them or almost feel them in a way in your real world. The idea that I got is when you connect the digital world with your real world, there are these new possibilities, but of course it's hard to imagine what those could be. So if you use HoloLens, for example, which projects the digital world into your real world, and then you could use Kinect to put yourself from the real world into the digital world, there's this huge overlap of software and hardware. So what if you, for example, take HoloLens with you at home and you have like this home automation thing. For example, you have Nest. And with HoloLens you can see what Nest is doing. You can see what Nest is thinking, and you see what the functions are. What if you were to combine them with, let's say, gesture recognition. And in a way now you can visualize the functionality of the Nest, but you could maybe, for example, tie it to a different object. So a straightforward thing would be to take your Nest functionality and project it on your TV. So now that it's your Nest, whatever your Nest is thinking, you could see that on your TV, for example. There are these new tools like HoloLens that can help you visualize and connect all these things that were previously unconnected. How does this relate to IKEA? Well, IKEA shows you what you can do with all of their products, where they don't tell you what the exact function is, but they kind of give you tools or tips on how to combine that stuff or what it might do if you combine the stuff. And there's something interesting there with Microsoft as well. Like all of their systems, what can you do when you start combining them with other products and other services? There's something interesting there. Alright, brainstorm update. I've now done Google, and what you see is all of these, all of their products, or at least a lot of them basically. And there's also the same thing going on as with Microsoft. They are connecting you to the internet. They are connecting you with all of their software. And even more with Google than with Microsoft. They are making you use all of their software, all of their products. You have Chromecast. You have, of course, Android, which runs on your smartphone. Google Search, all these products online like Google Docs. In the US, they are connecting people to the internet with Google Fiber, or they're like these internet balloons in Africa with the idea to get everyone on the internet, everyone connected. But then there's also these movements going on of Project Aura, their modular smartphone, where I think that's their next step into connecting people, or connecting their the functionality of their software or their products to other products. Where you can imagine, if you look at this, for example, if you take Project Aura, which like IKEA stimulates parties or third parties to be creative with their system, to develop modules for Project Aura. But then there's also a lot of value in these modules. What if you could take like the physical modules to transfer the functionality into something else, like a thermostat, right? So this seems pretty far-fetched, but what I'm getting at is that modules could very well be like the physical applications where you take a functionality of one device and you transfer it to another one. So I'm really starting to recognize the value of modularity in consumer technology. They basically come down to three components. One of these elements is lifespan of use, or longevity of use, or upgradability. The puzzle phone, which I showed earlier this week, is a great example of one of those products where they solely focus on one device being used for a really long time, where you can just upgrade some of the stuff or repair some of the components more easily than you can with an all-in-one product. Other products focus on being adaptable, so they are more easily adapted to different kinds of contexts. Think about the Microsoft Surface Book, where it's a laptop for serious desk work, or it's a tablet for example, a designer who just likes to doodle in a meeting. And element 3 is the ability to add modules with new, not yet existent functionalities. So if there is like this new invention with a new technology, you could add it with a new module later on after a couple of years of using this modular product. Project Aura from Google is a great example of this, where it's an entirely modular phone with just the basic phone functions inside of the frame, and you can swap out all of these modules depending on your style or your taste of what the functionality of your phone should be. And a system like this stimulates the creativity from, let's say, the community, third-party developers who like to develop new kinds of functionalities for a smartphone or for this smartphone. The framework of Project Aura allows people outside of Google to come up with new modules for Project Aura. And this sort of framework can give an incredible boost to the range of functionalities of a smartphone as we know it. So IKEA has this seriously incredible way of marketing their products and stimulating creativity within their customers to do all sorts of things with their products. And this sort of creativity can be incredibly valuable within consumer technology. Just imagine that every device in your house is modular. That would mean that you can change the function of, let's say, your microwave to also include a motion sensor. So it starts heating your chocolate milk when you jump up from the couch during a movie break. And that's exactly where I am right now. Think with me. And the disclaimer is that this is incredibly far from reality, but that's also what makes it a great vision to guide my project towards. So my gut tells me that Google has a lot of tools and information in place to make this a reality with hardware, where you can just take one module from the one device and put it in the other device to change their functionalities. Microsoft, on the other hand, can do this digitally. Their HoloLens, which is basically an awesome augmented reality goggle, can show you information of all the connected devices around you. And using their gesture recognition software, you could just basically swap functionality digitally, where you can just point at one thing and then drag the functionality to another device. My thoughts on this is that there is a combination between these two worlds that can be incredibly valuable to how we interact with our products in the future. Now it's just a matter of taking a small piece of this large puzzle, focus on it, and design what it might look like and how it might work. Next week, I'll continue with expanding the concept within the context of our homes, and I'll show a bit more concrete examples so that you can all really tell what I'm talking about, because I think it's a little bit gibberish right now. So yeah, I'll show examples of what I mean exactly. Before I wrap up this week's video, I have a question that I really like your answer to. Can you think of a device at home which has functionalities that you'd also like to have on other devices? Please let me know in the comments below. If you like this video, let me know by hitting the like button and hit subscribe to let me know that you like these sort of videos, so I'll keep making more. Have a great weekend, and I'll see you next week.